He's the smooth banana of morning host hosting. The banana eating, coffee drinking, adopted kid having, adopted parents having, working out every 2 daysing. You love him, you hate him. You're watching his video right now for some reason. It's the one and only Adam Josh.
Morning, everyone. Morning. Welcome to the Morning Banana Show. My name is Adam. This is a banana. Got coffee here. It is like 8 o'clock in the morning. March the 9th. It is a Wednesday. Although I don't really care about the god Woden. It is Woden's day. I didn't make the calendar. I didn't start these wars. Nevertheless, here we are on this weird day, caught up in this weird situation in the world right now. Welcome, welcome. Follow me on Twitter at adamjosh.com. My website is adamjosh.com. I like to troll people and tell them sometimes that it's mindballs.org or mindballs.org or mindballs.org. In all actuality, I own both. Got the live streams up here right now from Ukraine. It's a new morning routine for me. They're 6 hours ahead, so it's afternoon for them. It's snowing though in some parts. New morning routine for me is just to check out the live streams from the Ukraine since, if you watch mainstream media, it's chaos in the streets and the people of Ukraine are running away from the mushroom cloud of the nuclear holocaust. And then you watch the live streams and little old ladies are pushing baby carriages. People are not even parking straight. They're in such chaos. It's just panic and mayhem on the street. So that's why I watch the live streams. People moseying around at a medium pace. I'm going to check the live streams real quick because some of you guys know that sometimes it doesn't always work correctly. My live stream device over there, I have two devices recording this, as some of you know, live and recorded. And the live stream device is always wonky these days. It looks good. Let's see here. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so, my name is Adam. This is the Morning Banana Show number 119. Don't exactly have a topic other than we can chat about some stuff that happened yesterday, and we can talk about what's going on in the world. So, what is going on here? There we go. We'll keep this live stream of Ukraine up right here, if you can see that. Well, why not? It's good views. Oh, that's good coffee. I gotta go buy some coffee today. It is, I drink all my Starbucks, right? And then it's gone. So then I have to go buy more. And I like French roast and dark roast. So I like what I like. Well, let's rip into this banana and get going. Yesterday was a little crazy. I wound up having to file a police report and contacting the RCMP, basically because somebody was trying to scam me and my dad. If you want to scam us on that level, you better be a politician. 'Cause that's about the only scams that we seem to fall for. But, basically, the short of it is, you guys know I have all this, it's no secret if you followed your boy for any amount of time. Maybe I downplay it over the years,
I'm just so used to it that this is my life now. But like, I have the keys. Okay, is that debatable? I'm not a janitor, but I have all the keys. And so, coming with this responsibility of having all the keys, is I have all this stuff, basically. And sometimes the stuff we're never going to use. And so I'll put it on Kijiji and sell it. It's not like I'm not scamming anybody. We're not like doing some side thing. It's completely legitimate, out in the open. If I can repair something that's broken and I sell it, or if I buy something that I don't need, I sell it. But the problem is when you times that by how many restaurants, as you guys know we have, and you times that by how many rental properties, you wind up with this like massive amount of stuff, and you're constantly selling and fixing things. And it's a way to make money, basically, another way to make money. And yeah, so I have a lot of stuff, and I'm selling some of this stuff online, and I have been for years, and trying to sell a furnace control board for a residential furnace. And because the price of semiconductors have gone bananas, they're expensive. So a used one that works. I thought listing it for $500 was a deal. I just increased the price to $650 after this whole fiasco yesterday. I want to keep commenting on the situation in Ukraine because I don't think these people get the memo.
They're pushing baby carriages right now, live on the live stream camera. Slowly at a medium pace. They're very quietly and calmly just chilling out in the Ukraine. If anybody says anything, it's because the Ukrainians have balls of steel.
Yesterday was my would have been my grandma's birthday. She was an immigrant from the Ukraine, and my grandma got me into investing. My grandma got a letter from the Queen of England, which I think is common on your 75th birthday. One of the things that the Queen's office does is make sure that people who reach the age of 75 get letters from her, is it 75 or 80? But I was there at that birthday. She was really proud of the letter that she got from the Queen of England. Anyway, back to my story. I mean, you got to check these live stream cameras out for yourself. It really messes with your head because it's like living in an alternate reality. Really. Mainstream media versus just what it actually looks like. So yeah, don't get fooled, I guess, is the moral of the story. There I was, selling a furnace control board, and the only person that seriously messaged me it turned out to be this guy. He's like emailed me. We negotiated on the price. He said the price sounds fine. I'm going to send you a check. I'm not going to be able to meet you in cash, in paid cash. Most people, when you sell things on Kijiji, they'll pay in cash. And I've sold things on Kijiji where people e-transfer and whatever. We do things above the board. I don't really care how people pay me. We have to declare it all anyway at the end of the day. And a lot of times I'm not doing it for myself. In this particular case, I was doing it for my dad. So it has nothing to do with me. I'm like the mediator. And I'm not even getting any money out of this whole thing. That was the irony of it. I'm not getting any cut or any percentage of this sales. Again, this is the irony of the whole situation. Anyway, guy says, when I went to the bank with this fake check, and when I called and filed the police report, they all knew the scam before I even said it. They told me, let me guess. The guy overpaid you, and then said you have to e-transfer him the remainder, and it would be a separate email address. And I was like, how did you guys know? And they said, because it's a common scam. Anyway, that's pretty much exactly what happened. The guy emails me. He says, I'm going to send you a check, and I said, after consulting with our end, I said, look, a money order or draft from your bank that's certified would be appropriate so that we know it's legit. Anyway, check comes in the mail. I put it upstairs, otherwise I would show it to you guys. If you follow my Twitter account, I did a limited dox of the guy yesterday, and I say limited because I'm not a complete jerk. And I thought, you know, we had some emotions about it, don't get me wrong. But again, $2,000 isn't going to change my life one way or the other. And again, as I just told you, I wasn't getting any cut of the sale, so it made no difference to me. Unfortunately, this check wasn't in my name. Even better. It was written out to my dad. So again, I was just kind of like a third party. Scam in the email is, oh, sorry, I'm out of town. And I'm going to send a transfer agent to pick it up. And by the way, I accidentally made a mistake and I'm paying you an extra $2,000 more. I got confused. I was also buying scooters online. So do me a favor. When you get the check, e-transfer the remainder to the transfer agent. And maybe you have some red flags going up right now, and let me tell you, I mean, I feel like I'm talking to my best friends when I talk to you guys, because if you followed me this long, you know the stories that, you know, I started managing a roofing company in my 20s. I worked at some of the, you know, the most roughneck places around. I've dealt with contractors since I was in my 20s. You know, I've been employed since I was 16, and I've seen like every scam that you could possibly think of. So if your red flags are going off, I have a bajillion red flags going off. And, but at the same time, again, it wasn't in my name. And I kept thinking, look, if this check comes in and it's legitimate, we know how to verify a check. I'm not some dumbass that's going to go to the bank and you know, try to automatically deposit in an ATM machine. I'm not some type of person that's going to be wowed by, you're going to give me an extra $50 for all this running around? Wow, thank you. And that's what the guy offered. You know, take an extra $50 for all this running around. And I apologize for the mistake. So now 500 was now turning into 550. Anyway, the check came in. I'm looking at it, and it looked like it was printed on a piece of paper. It looked like a money order that was maybe the font didn't look right. He had made a mistake with the date and corrected it. But I'm not a forensic expert. I'm not a, you know, I'm not a cyber crime check fraud expert. So the way I put it to my dad was like, look, I'm not 100% sure about this check. It says a money order on it. It says it's from Bank of Montreal. You could take it to your bank in person and just ask them, hey, you know, is this a real check before you try to deposit it? My dad had a better idea. He said, well, you bank with Bank of Montreal. One of my home branches is with Bank of Montreal, and they're local, like they're right, you know, I have one in my town. So he said, why don't you just go and ask them as a favor to verify the check, even though it's not in your name. So I did that. And again, my branch manager over at my home branch, I didn't even really get it out of the envelope. She's like, yeah, that's the scam. That's a fake. I was like, how do you know? You didn't even look at it. So then she finally took a closer look at it. She showed me in comparison to like a real one, and I was like, okay, wow. Font's different, paper's different. I get it, it's different. And more so than that, she said it's a common scam. And she's had it happen to her son. So I filed a report with her. I told her to photocopy it and do whatever she can. When it came time to me actually talking to the police, they said it's such a common scam, and I was like, you're making me feel like reporting this isn't even worth it. He said, no, it's worth it. Hopefully we catch all of them. But the problem is when these guys are out of country. I thought it would be a good idea to get the Gmail account that he wanted me to e-transfer the money to. And the officer said, well, that's one idea. But this scam artist might not be in the country or in our jurisdiction. Moreover, we don't usually involve civilians in our sting operations. So why don't you just leave it to the experts there, Columbo? He didn't call me Columbo, but... police officer said, well, I'm glad that you guys were on the ball. You sound like you were on the ball. He kept repeating on the ball a few times. Of course, I'm not on the ball. I'm on flat Earth. But anyway, he kept saying, you're on the ball. It sounds like you got, you're business guys, he said to me. You and your dad, you sound like business guys and accomplished business guys, so we're not, not too worried about you getting scammed. Yeah, and so then he had asked me to send him all the, the pertinent information, the check, the pictures, the scanned copies of whatnot, the email chain. And I hung up the phone with him. And then I get a call from the Bell contractor trying to install internet and cable, telephone lines and whatnot over at the new construction site. And nobody's there to open the door because, the way the contractors are, why would anybody show up to their job to work on a Tuesday? And the lesson here is to prioritize your emergencies. So I think the Bell contractor, coming back for the second time now, trying to install Wi-Fi, trying to install the internet, and set up the lines from Bell, I think that's more important than following up on on check fraud. So I raced over to the restaurant. Do not try to eat a cookie and talk. I raced over to the restaurant and opened the door, and then he told me, you can't leave, you have to stay here with me, it's part of company policy, somebody in the franchise management has to be here. And I'm like, look, I'm not the owner, my dad is, but I can hang out with you, I don't know all the details that he knows, I know some of them, but I'll hang out. So I helped him. I FaceTimed the general contractor to see where all the lines were going. And then after about 20 minutes, my adopted dad showed up, and he said, you can leave if you want to. And so I left and came back to the office. I had 2 missed calls at that point from the police officer, but they called from an unidentified number. So eventually I picked up when he answered. I was talking to the other guy on the other line, so I picked up, and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know if you're gonna send me the documents or not. Did I miss something? Maybe you sent it to the wrong email address. I'm just calling to make sure. I'm not trying to bother you, that type of thing. And I said, I'm sorry, officer. I apologize back. And I said, look, this is my situation. I also have we're trying to build 2 restaurants here in town. You might be familiar with that. And at the same time, it's a lot of work. There's contractors standing there, and I had to come here, so I was prioritizing this over that, and I apologize. I'm going to get back to the office, and then I emailed him all the stuff. All that to say, the case is closed now, at least on my end. The chapter is closed. I'm not going to be involved anymore. I've turned it over to the professionals. And all of that to say, don't let yourself be scammed. And be aware that there's people out there in this world, in this climate, in this environment right now, not just politicians. Scamming isn't just limited to your politicians. There's petty people trying to scam little old ladies and guys like me. Another baby carriage out of, thousands of dollars. Another baby carriage.
Babies everywhere. People feeling comfortable enough to have babies during wartime. Don't they know? They're running away from the blast to a nuclear holocaust.
Anyway, thank you for following me so far. Hey, speaking of scam artists, money is tight for everybody. If you watch the Morning Banana Show for any amount of time and you feel a way about supporting me, sometimes people want to support you, right? I haven't written a book, although I've seriously been considering it lately, no joke. I've been thinking about writing a book. I don't know what I would write a book about.
Overcoming by Adam Josh. Being Adam Josh by Adam Josh.
But I'm not putting it out of my mind. Like, I'm not saying, absolutely no, I'm never going to write a book. I might write a book one day. If you feel a way about supporting me, here's some ways that you can. You can send an e-transfer. If you're in Canada, I think it works. So you might be able to e-transfer money outside of Canada. I don't know. Send me an e-transfer. My email address is adam@adamjosh.com. Pretty simple. Yeah, I'll get it that way, and I appreciate your donations. truth be told, I've maybe got $50 worth of donations in 20 years. You can also follow and support Coda Vets, the Coda Vets veteran organization, at Coda Vets on Twitter, CodaVets.com. It's an organization that I support, and so I feel like if other people do, that makes me feel good, but I don't get any kickbacks or financial incentive to support Coda Vets. It's just something that I believe in from my heart, because the U.S. government is sending, $15 billion to the Ukraine right now. They don't really care about supporting their own veterans or taking care of the problems at home. It's just like ridiculous right now. Another way is on the top of my Twitter account, there's a little dollar sign. It's like a tip jar. Follow the links and you can send me a tip there. So another way you could sign up for Wealth Simple and start investing in yourself, or sign up for any type of online investment thing that's legitimate. Run it through a tax-free savings account if you're Canadian, and start investing in yourself. That would make me happy. Another thing you could do is meditate. Start meditating every day at 11:11. You can pray for me if you pray. You can meditate for me, for my life to upgrade. Things on my wish list. If I had an Amazon wish list, you couldn't afford it, but I want a second house as a rental income. My own second house. So of course, my dad has lots of different things, but I want for myself a second house to use as a rental income, and I want to own a Tesla Model X. That's my wish list for me. It's pretty limited. I feel like I'm blessed. I have everything that I want in my life except for a second. Right now, I want a second house and a Tesla. Okay, I'm not a picky guy. Just those two things. Thank you so much for following me all this time. You guys are the best. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.